there's my pasta that I just made hanging up to dry. So it's hung up to dry, and there's some more of it. I couldn't think of any other place to put it, and so there you have it. This is sort of part 2 to Nana's Noodles, and I want to explain part 1 was made the day before I went to the emergency room. Part 2 that you're going to be seeing bits and pieces of was made the day that I came home from the emergency room, and I probably shouldn't have made the video. It's really messy, has a lot of mistakes in it. And then today is, I think, June 26th. So they're spread out in bits and pieces of this, but what I want to explain is the pasta maker that I have was given to me. I didn't buy it, but I do use it. But it's not something that I think you need to go out and buy. If you were going to buy anything, invest in anything to make noodles with, buy something for your KitchenAid. Be much handier, much easier to use. Or just do the old-fashioned way and spread it out with a rolling pin. Get it as thin as you want it, and then cut it. And that's how I used to make it before I was given the pasta machine that I have. And I want to explain, because I just come home from the hospital, I didn't cut my pasta right. I cut it pie shape. Don't do that. When you take it out of the refrigerator and you push it down and you start getting it where you can put it through your machine to make it narrow, you want to cut it as square as you can. And I know it's hard to cut a circle in squares, but you don't want to do it in pie shape like you see me do. Okay, so that is it. And then you'll see I had trouble with my memory card. I had trouble with my battery, and I had trouble with part 2 of making Nana's Noodles. But when they're completely dry, then you can store them. And I store them in this. I've used some since then. And like I say, it's 2 ounces per serving. And since I don't want it to be the star of the show, for Tom and I only cook 3 ounces altogether instead of 4. So with that, I'm going to let you watch the rest of the video, and there you have it. Oh, welcome. This is Mary Ann and Surviving the 80s, and I'm going to do a video on the second half of my pasta. And I had made it on the 15th, the day that I had my first ripe tomato. And then on the 16th, I went to the ER expecting to come home the next day and make my pasta. But I came home on the 18th, and I wasn't sure how my pasta dough would survive. So I thought maybe 2 days would be the most I should keep it in the refrigerator. But it was a funny thing. The doctor that I planned to go to, she introduced me to 2 other of her doctor colleagues that also practice in the same clinic. And one of the doctors, he said to me, "Don't worry about your pasta. I've forgotten it in the refrigerator more days." And he says, "It'll still turn out okay, so don't worry about your pasta." Anyway, I was concerned about the pasta, and I also had a lamb shank defrosting in the refrigerator. So I was also concerned about that. But I got that on as soon as I came home. So it is cooking, and it appears that my pasta dough is just perfect. So after you make it, you want to sort of flatten it out, and I'm going to flatten it out, and then I'm going to cut it in several pieces and make it into noodles. Well, let me get a knife. At my fingertips. Okay, so I think I'll cut it, I don't know, maybe in about 6 pieces. And maybe that's, is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. And I'm going to send it through, and you can either roll it out as thin as you'd like it with a rolling pin, or if you have a KitchenAid, they have really nice attachments to it, or if you have a pasta machine. And I was watching a video about, I think it was called 50 appliances that you don't need to buy. Well, I want you to know, I didn't buy this. It's a pasta machine, and I've had it for years, and I didn't buy it. I want it. So that's why I have it, and I do use it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start maybe, I think I'll start on 2. Maybe I should go back even to 1. Okay, so I have it on 1. That opens up quite a bit, this thing, and then you put the little handle in, and I'm working backwards sort of so you can see it, but I want, maybe I should flatten that more out and put it down there. Maybe if I was, oh, there, I was turning it the wrong way because I'm back, sort of backwards to it. Okay, and what you want to do is take it through, is that the way, yeah. Take it through twice of each setting. And I'm just going to show you one, but if I was not on the video, I'd take it through all of these pieces twice. But now I'm going to take it up, and I think, yeah, I got it on 2. I was hoping to get 3, but maybe it'd be better.
Other way.
Other way.
You forget so easy.
Okay. Whoops. The little nose was still in there. Okay. Twice through this one. And you just keep doing this. And it's beginning to stick a little bit together, and I don't want it to do that, so I'm going to put some flour. And remember the flour I used. I'm back. This has been quite a video day. Earlier, what it did was my memory card was full. Then, now my batteries, and my noodles are drying out. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm up to where I just want to send them down. Okay, it goes this way. One more time, and it's bunching it up. So you see, nothing works really perfect, but we don't want to worry about that. We're just going to do it anyway. We don't live in a perfect world, so we don't have perfect pasta. I wish it wouldn't quite do that, but it's going to. So I won't hyperventilate over it, but it's sort of bunching up. And what is it doing here? Oh, it's nice and thin, and we're going to let it go out. Whoops. And so you can see why they say don't buy one of these things. And you might be better off just to roll out your pasta dough if you don't have one of these or a KitchenAid to do it in. And years ago I didn't have it, so I always just, I'm going to cut this in half again. I always just rolled it out thin and cut them. But what I'm going to do now is I've got two sizes of cutters, and I'm going to use the bigger one. The other one would be more like spaghetti, but I want noodles. And if I was making lasagna, of course, I just cut them up. Okay, I have changed batteries about 3 times now, and I don't know how much you've been able to see, but I am trying to cut it up now, and for some reason I'm going to have to come because it's too backwards for me. But I'm sending it through. My little pasta maker here has 2 cuttings, spaghetti and the noodles. I don't want to use the spaghetti, but I do want to use the noodles. Okay, now I've got 2 little piles. I'm going to, well, I'm not going to work that one. I'm going to show you the 2 little piles, what I plan to do. And, well, I don't have my cookie sheet out here, so I'm just going to do it in this and give you an idea. What I am now is going to let them dry. And I plan to let them dry sort of in these little piles like this. I'm not going to turn them loose. And I think what I have outside that I'll show you is a noodle dryer, but they'll dry like this, and they'll be easier to store and put in my noodle canister that I want to store them in. And a serving of pasta is 2 ounces per person, and since I really want to go light on the pasta, for the 2 of us, I'm using 3 ounces instead of 4. And then I have read that if you cook the noodles and eat it right away, the glycemic load will be higher. But if you cook them, refrigerate it, reheat it, it has lowered quite a bit. And just from the cooking and the putting in to get cold, it's lowered. And then when you reheat it, it's another load down. So I've always loved cold spaghetti, and here I know now it's really would be easier if you're concerned about diabetes or pre-diabetes. So that's what I plan to do, and actually they last quite a while because you're not starring the pasta. Okay, if you cook it fairly fresh, it's only going to take a few minutes. But after it's dried, it will take, depending on how thick it is, and I'm hoping these are a little thinner than the last ones I made, and so it should cook a little bit quicker, and those, the other ones, because Tom likes them a little bit past al dente, and so I was cooking them for about 20 minutes. Well, I think 15 minutes at the most will be fine. So that's it. And enjoy. I hope this isn't too cut up video, but you have a good day, and we'll see you. Thank you, new subscribers, and I just again appreciate you all. Show you something. For years we found this hanger thing in an old farmhouse that we bought once. And I never really knew what it was, but I think I know what it is now. I think they made the pasta on it and dried their noodles on this. I really think that's what that is. And I'd like to try to do it someday. So I just thought I'd show you. See what, if you think it is, if any of you know. Tell me what you think they used it for. See, there's some hanging down that aren't spread out. So let me know, and thank you for joining me. Show you something. For years, we found this hanger thing in an old farmhouse that we bought once, and I never really knew what it was, but I think I know what it is now. I think they made the pasta on it and dried their noodles on this. I really think that's what that is, and I'd like to try to do it someday. So I just thought I'd show you, see what, if you think it is, if any of you know. Tell me what you think they used it for. See, there's some hanging down that aren't spread out. So let me know, and thank you for joining me.